What if I told you Ripple is closer than ever to becoming a real US bank? And not just any bank, but part of a system that has been locked off for decades, even to the most ambitious players. And you know who's most afraid of this step? Not the SEC, not crypto regulators. The ones terrified are the banks themselves, JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and the other giants of Wall Street. Last time, we uncovered Ripple's mysterious trip with global bankers to Antarctica, to Rothschild Island, where hints on social media suggested the future of global money was being discussed. But that was only one piece of the story. Today we're looking at another, how Ripple plans to enter the most closed system in the world, the banking system itself. Welcome back, this is Katz. Today we're exposing the plot where Ripple challenges the biggest banks on the planet. They're ready to replace the dollar, but standing in their way are the institutions that have controlled global finance for centuries. Let's start with the first strike. Ripple filed an application with the OCC, the Office of the Comptroller of the Currency. This is the body that regulates every national bank in the US. To give you scale, without an OCC license, you're not a bank. It's the locked gate into the private club where the fate of dollars, credit, and global flows is decided. And Ripple, a crypto company from San Francisco, did what no one expected. They officially applied for a banking license. This isn't a startup move. This is a step towards standing on equal footing with JP Morgan or Citi. Ask yourself, why would Ripple do this? The answer is obvious. If they secure an OCC license, XRP stops being just a payments token. It becomes infrastructure woven into the financial system of the United States. But OCC is only the beginning. The real prize is the master account. Ripple's subsidiary applied for a master account at the Federal Reserve. That means direct settlement access with the Fed, no intermediaries. To be clear, only central banks, America's biggest banks, and a select few institutions ever get this. A master account is control over the bloodstream of global finance. With it, Ripple transforms from fintech player to a full participant in global clearing, and XRP becomes the bridge, connecting banks, CBDCs, and stable coins. The question, will the Fed let them in? That's where the battle begins. The moment Ripple applies for a master account, regulators receive a collective letter. JP Morgan, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, and others all sign it. Their demand, do not let Ripple into the system. Why the panic? Because banks know if Ripple gains that access, they no longer need to keep trillions of dollars locked as frozen liquidity. The old system of correspondent accounts becomes useless. XRP replaces it as a universal bridge currency. That means Wall Street's core business model crumbles overnight. This isn't just competition. This is war for survival. Think about it. When dozens of the largest banks unite to stop a single company, that company isn't a little startup. It's a threat powerful enough to break a century-old architecture of money. And right now, that threat to the banks is Ripple. So let's connect the dots. Ripple officially applies for an OCC license. Then their subsidiary knocks on the Fed's door for a master account. Then the biggest banks in America send a collective letter begging regulators to stop them. That's not random. It's a chain of events showing Ripple isn't just playing the crypto game. They're building an alternative to the banking system itself. The only question, who wins? The old banks, living for decades off correspondent account fees, or Ripple, offering instant liquidity with no middlemen? And here's the lesson for all of us. While the elite fights for control of the global system, we need to hold control of our own assets. That's why we created Katz Wallet. Here, your keys stay only with you, zero fees. Security at the level of the biggest banks. Staking, airdrops, and whale tracking tools so you can see where the market is moving. The elite may rewrite the rules of the system, but your story begins with keeping control in your own hands. Ripple's fight shows one thing, they're not stopping. XRP is already wired into the system. The only question is when it becomes official. And when it does, XRP's price will never be the same again. But how high could XRP really go? And what fundamentals drive its true value? That's what we'll cover in the next episodes. So subscribe, hit like, and turn on notifications, because the real conspiracy around Ripple is only just beginning.